Hello guys and gals. Today I'm going to show you how to set up and compile C/C++ on Visual Studio Code. Because computers can only understand binary ones and zeros, we need something that can translate our high-level C or C++ code into machine code. And for that, we're going to use the GNU GCC/C++ compiler, and this tutorial would cover setting that up on both Windows and macOS. Head on to this website, winlibs.com. Once you're here, head on down over here to release versions, and you see here that there's two different types of packages. There's one that includes the compiler with a couple of extra tools over here, and one that doesn't. And I recommend you get the ones with the extra tools because it really doesn't make a difference if you get them or not, and they're just a lot better to have in case you ever need them in the future. So we're gonna download the Windows 64-bit 7-zip archive. And the reason why we're getting the 7-zip archive is because they have a much smaller download size due to better compression, and they're a lot faster to unzip than normal zip archives. However, in order to extract the 7-zip archives, you need to make sure you have 7-zip installed. So if you don't have it already, download the exe for a Windows 64-bit over here. To install it, run the installer like any other program. So now we're going to extract our 7-zip archive. To do so, we're going to right click on our file, go to 7-zip, then press extract here, and then wait for it to finish extracting. The speed of it will depend on your computer. Once your file has finished extracting, select it and press Ctrl X. Now head over to your C drive over here under this PC. Personally, I like to have everything organized, so I made a folder called Tools over here, and I'm going to paste my compiler in here with Ctrl V. However, you don't need to put it inside a folder called Tools, and you could just paste it into your C drive like normal. Once your transfer is completed, what we're going to do next is to set our folder to path, meaning that we're going to tell Windows where our compiler is located on our computer so that it knows where to find it when it needs it. So in order to do so, we're going to go into the folder and go into bin. We're going to get the file path directory by clicking on the top bar over here and pressing Ctrl C. Once you've copied the path, in your Windows search, type in environment variables, and then you'll see this pop up from the control panel over here. So click on that, click on environment variables, under system variables, click on path, edit, new, and then press Ctrl V on your keyboard to paste the file directory. Then press OK, OK, and OK. To verify that we've done everything correctly, open up command prompt and type in g++ space -- version and press enter. You'll see that there's a bunch of information here, and if you don't get any errors, it means that you did it correctly. On macOS, if you already have XCode, it actually already has the GCC/C++ compiler in it. For those of you who don't know what XCode is and probably don't have it installed, it's essentially Apple's integrated development environment for macOS, and it gives you a bunch of tools to develop software on their platforms. If you already have XCode installed, you can skip to this timestamp over here. For the others, open up the terminal and run the command xcode-select space -- install. You will then get a prompt to install the XCode command line tools package. Press install, accept the agreement, and wait for the tools to finish installing. Keep in mind that the installation process might take a while, so just let it do its thing. Once it finishes, you can press done. If you go to the directory of which XCode is actually installed, which is /library/developer/command line tools, you'll actually notice that the files for GCC and G++ are already here. However, we're going to verify in our terminal that it all works anyways by typing g++ space -- version. The terminal should spit out a bunch of information, and if there are no errors, you're all done. Now we are on the last step, setting up Visual Studio Code. Go to this website, code.visualstudio.com/download, and make sure you download the version that supports your operating system. On Windows, just run the installer, accept the agreement, and leave it on the default path. You can check create a desktop icon if you'd like, and make sure to add open with code to Windows Explorer file and directory context menus. This is because in my experience, it makes it super convenient and fast to open up files or a directory straight into Visual Studio Code, so I recommend that everybody does this. Click on next, and once it finishes installing, you can press finish and Visual Studio Code will open. On macOS, just unzip the zip file and move Visual Studio Code to your applications folder in your Finder. Double click on the app to launch it and press open when Apple prompts you because clearly you don't know how to use a computer. In order to actually run C and C++ files in Visual Studio Code, we need to install the C/C++ extensions along with Code Runner. To get this, click on the extensions page button that's to the left. Search up C/C++ and install the C/C++ extension along with the extension pack. Next, type Code Runner in the search bar and install that extension as well. Doing all of this allows Visual Studio Code to work with C/C++ and will let you run programs with the click of a button. Now we're going to run a basic C++ program to make sure everything works correctly. Go to File and press New File. Once that's made, click File again and press Save As. Once you've picked a spot to save your file, name it and change the extension at the end to .cpp. Now click Save. In the code editor over here, follow along with me to write your first basic C++ program. To run the program, you can simply press Ctrl or Command Alt N, or go up to the top right over here and press the small play button. You'll notice that you get an error, but that's because we forgot to press save. Make sure you save your programs by pressing Ctrl or Command S, or go up to File and press Save. Let's now change up the code so we can get an input from the user and use that to promote a YouTube channel. Just follow along with me. When you run this, you'll notice that the code runs, but we aren't able to type anything as our input because it's actually in read-only mode. To fix this, simply go to File, Preferences, then select Settings. In the Settings search bar, type Run in Terminal and scroll down till you see the Code Runner Run in Terminal option. Check the box, and now when we go back to our program and run it, you'll see that you're now able to input stuff into the terminal. Woohoo! One final thing, to auto-format your code in Visual Studio Code, simply press Shift-Alt-F, and now your code is looking clean. So that was how you fully set up C/C++ on Windows and macOS with Visual Studio Code. I hope this tutorial was clear for you guys, and if you have any more questions, feel free to put them in the comments section down below, and I'll try my best to help you. Peace!